Welcome back to UKSG Winter 2022. Now we've done the classic switcheroo. We had Deebs running before with Hudson on commentary. Now we've got Hudson on the run with Deebs on the commentary. Hudson's going to be doing some Dead Rising 2 off the record. Timeskip, any percent. Hudson, please tell us more about the run. Good luck.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the superior Dead Rising game. This is Dead Rising 2 off the record. Now, we have Dead Rising 2, which exists, which is a completely new story. We play as Chuck Green in that, in this new place called Fortune City. It's 5 years after Dead Rising 1, but we don't care about that. We're playing off the record, which is this kind of off non-canon director's cut that reimagines the story if Frank West was in Fortune City. So we're going to be jumping into that, basically. And, yeah, I'm just going to get straight on into it. So we actually start from a save just after the beginning of the game in this category. We ignore this wonderful little starting section, which involves us stomping zombies for 3 minutes to earn money. So the general gist of this is that we're here in Fortune City to earn money after Frank West has kind of fallen off. So after the events of Dead Rising 1, he was pretty famous, he outed the government, he had his own talk show for a bit, and then he had a scandal, lost his talk show, lost all his money, so now he's, pretty poor, and he needs to give himself Zombrex every day because he got infected with the zombie virus. So if he doesn't inject himself with this Zombrex drug every 24 hours, he will turn into a zombie, which we don't want. So he's here in Fortune City competing on this game show called Terror is Reality, which is basically a zombie slugfest to try and earn money. He does that, and you can see I've got myself $35,000 in the bank over in the top left there. And now he spots these two wonderful individuals, TK and Brandon, up to some business. So this is where the kind of run starts. We have 2 minutes of literally just sitting here waiting for these guys to finish their conversation. Usually I like to kind of, grab a drink, run to the toilet when this happens, but, don't want to do that just yet. But you can see here, we got this camera. This is a wonderful little tool that we are going to use. It's not super useful in Timeskip, but in other categories, like all bosses, it comes in a lot more useful. But you might think, oh, well, why do we need to take pictures? We don't. But it does come in very, very useful for the purposes of cancelling animations. So pretty much any animation in this game can be kind of cancelled. So for instance, crashing our skateboard into a wall or getting off the skateboard, we can just quickly pop into the camera, and then we're bright as rain. We're just moving again. So it allows us to kind of move around a lot quicker in certain wacky ways. These guys have kind of finished with their conversation almost, so we're going to be assaulted by some thugs momentarily, and we're going to be able to show off camera cancelling, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, we got this right here. These thugs right here, they're going to try and beat us up, and we want them to beat us up, because it's actually faster to be beaten by them to actually win the fight. So I'm going to kind of sit here in the camera. I'm going to keep spamming the button to push myself straight back into it, so that every time I stumble or get knocked over, I am immediately going straight back into the camera, and they're just going to keep wailing on me, so we don't have to wait for any of that business.
Not only is it faster, but it's also almost impossible to beat the goons at level 1, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard
it's
fight.
A tough fight.
Yeah. Also here, pretty much we're gonna be dying again.
Yep.
Usually here you'd be going through the area, seeing a lot of survivors die, unfortunately. You can actually save, you can't save any of them, but we're actually just gonna die again, because dying will actually TP you the cutscene trigger.
Yeah.
So, way faster.
So yeah, so no matter what happens in this section, we make it to kind of the safe room, we get escorted by a survivor, so we're good. So we're just going to completely just die in fire there, and we die twice, so that's fun. And then we get to move on. So now we're kind of getting into the actual kind of meat of the game, I suppose. We actually get to move around, we're not stuck in the prologue all of a sudden. So the first thing we will need to do is find ourselves some Zombrex, because we don't want to turn into a zombie. We don't want to do that.
But actually, the very, very first thing, just like in Dead Rising 1, as soon as we get out of the mall, we'll go for the faster movement tech.
Oh, for sure.
You might be able to guess it.
Yeah, it's a helicopter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, though, in this run, skateboards are, well, in my opinion, way funnier. They have more durability, and also, well, we won't mention it now, but there's a pretty fun trick that you can do with the skateboard.
Yeah, we get to do some cool things with the skateboard, and as Steve mentioned, far more durability. The base durability of a skateboard in Dead Rising 2 off the record is 16 hits, and that is the base. So we get 2 magazines. That is 144 hits that a single skateboard can take, which is nuts. We're also picking up a key right there. Deeps can kind of chat a little bit about the usefulness of keys.
Yeah, we're gonna be picking up specific keys along the way. I can't count how many keys specifically, but there's
think it's
about
9.
a dozen. 9. Okay. The keys will well, there are specific to off the record. The keys are not present in Dead Rising 2, but since Dead Rising 2 off the record has a new area which is called Uranus Zone that we're going to be entering soon, there are also vaults in it with lockers that you can open with the keys. The keys will give you a certain amount of money and also Zombrex and a few weapons. One of them that we're going to use. The reason why we need the money is actually because you need $1 million throughout the run. We're gonna be trying to like grab specific suitcases as well as grabbing certain keys to get that $1 million. You'll see why later. Why we need that money.
Yeah, we need to get $1 million by about midway through the run. So we need to have a pretty specific routing for the keys to make sure that we have all of that money by the time we get there. Otherwise, the run is just dead.
Yeah.
So we got ourselves our Zombrex. We've jabbed that into our neck. And, you know, we're going to be heading back onto the safe room now as they're reporting the new zombie outbreak on the news. And we need to go all the way back to see that, apparently. But first we're going to take a little detour up here. Get the first of our wonderful skateboarding magazines.
Yep. I believe there's also 3 books in this game, but we only grabbed 2. But fortunately, the second book we grab will give us a special ability that will come in handy for the special trick we were talking about.
Indeed.
Also here we're going to be grabbing sports fan cleats. We're going to be grabbing, I believe, like 4 sets of clothing.
Yeah, 4 different pieces of clothing.
Yeah, the reason why we grabbed those sets of clothing is actually because it gives you a certain buff. The buff for this outfit, I believe, is you can't vomit. If you were to eat like spoiled food, or if you were to drink too much alcohol, you would vomit. But the biggest reason we're actually using this is because the survivor will walk faster, and so will Frank. So
yeah.
Well, we're speedrunning. So
yeah, so once we have the full outfit, we have a bunch of benefits that are unlocked to us. So yeah, like Deeps mentioned, base move speed is increased, which also translates to any survivors that follow us. Not so useful in this route, but useful in another run, another category, sorry. Like I said, we don't vomit from either being too drunk or from eating spoiled food. We heal more from certain food items and alcohol. And the damage of thrown weapons is increased slightly, which comes in clutch for a very specific part a bit later on in the run.
I don't think it would be needed for that part, but it definitely makes it faster.
It helps, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, are you going to go for face paint later?
Yeah, I'm going to skip the face paint. I'm going to use your strat, Deep.
Nice. It's actually holograms to right, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the face paint is another piece of that kind of outfit. Usually we'd go and grab it then, but we've very, very recently found out that it might actually be faster to grab it slightly later on.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go and do some shopping instead.
Yeah, we were kind of like going out of our way, just like we were to go in our Americana, do a lot of parkour, and then come back. The reason why we're doing that, though, is actually because we need to make a quick step, which is one of the things we're going to do here. The quick step is also in Dead Rising 1, but sadly we don't get to use it. We only get to use it in this run. You'll see why later. I was talking about escorting survivors later. Well, escorting survivors, if you were to drink a quick step during that escort, it would kind of just translate to the survivor itself. So.
Could come in handy.
Also, we're just going to be grabbing more keys.
Yeah, the developers of this game are very mature, putting that numbered key in this particular building.
Also, Orny helmet.
Yep.
Pretty mature. And
so yeah,
then we'll go into Palisade.
Yeah, we got a lot of supplies to pick up throughout this kind of area.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of various things that are going to be useful to us for the rest of the run. Mostly keys, but going to get ourselves another magazine as well.
Yeah.
And more pieces of the outfit.
Yeah, exactly. This specific magazine, I was talking about the special ability it gives you. I guess Tim will probably show it off as soon as we get it. It actually makes you able to do ollies. So you can jump now.
We can now jump the skateboard, which is pretty useful.
Oh, yeah. And here we'll be making the quick step with the coffee creamer and the cocktail.
Yep. Don't advise actually doing that IRL, but in this game, mixing those two things makes you run faster.
Yep. So here we're going to be grabbing another key as well. I believe there are 2 more keys or 3 more keys that we'll be grabbing after that. And we'll also be grabbing another piece of clothing.
Yeah.
Which is like the main outfit, pretty much.
There we go. So now we're just missing the face paint, which we'll get kind of after case 1 free. So a little way away, and then we'll have that full outfit set, ready to go. So yeah, we're done with the Palisades now. We got one more kind of pit stop to make before we kind of get on with the main story. It feels a little bit painful to have to go and do all this shopping before you get on with the game, but trust me, it's necessary. We need these keys.
Oh yeah.
The run physically can't carry on without that $1 million that we are going to grab.
Yeah. So, also we're gonna be going, like I was talking about Uranus Zone being the part where that's the vaults. We're gonna be going to Uranus Zone only once, so it's better to get just the keys early, because that part where we actually get into the Uranus Zone is pretty early as well. So
yeah.
It's actually case 2, so it's coming close. Also here we're gonna be grabbing a LMG. The reason why we grab this LMG is actually because we have to deal with certain enemies that are called looters, and also during the escort, like in any Dead Rising games, the survivors will sometimes just get grabbed over and over, so you can kind of just clear them fast with the LMG here.
Yep, and another key there in the fountain.
Yep.
Cool, so now we're headed off to Fortune City Hotel. So during Case 1-1, when we went back to see the news on the outbreak, we found out that the zombie rights organization Cure got blamed for it, because the guy Brandon that we saw, he kind of basically blew up a cage full of zombies and let them all out, and that's what started it. But he's affiliated with Cure, so now they're blaming it, and we don't think that's right exactly because of what we saw. So we're going over here to meet Rebecca, who is the person that reported on it live from Fortune City, and we're like, yo, this is sus, and she's like, I agree, let me go show you where I got the tape from. So she's going to take us over to the Fortune City Arena, which is where the game show took place. Now Rebecca's annoying. We have to kind of wait for her to kind of get to the load zones, much like Isabella, but we can't have the liberty of despawning the zombies in front of her. So we just kind of head to her point and wait for her to get there. And this is where the quick step comes in, because in Dead Rising 2 and in Off the Record, survivors' move speed are tied to your move speed. So when we drink this quick step here that makes us move fast, you'll see behind us Rebecca is also moving really fast.
Yep.
This lets her get
Really
through the
fast,
zombies with ease. Survivors tend to get grabbed a lot in Off the Record. It's not fun. So we want her to be moving as fast as possible. And we got some looters up here that we need to deal with, so we're just going to kind of move on through, move past them. Rebecca's still a little way behind, so we're not too worried. We just need to make sure that they're dead before she gets here. Otherwise she'll get
You
stuck
don't really
on
need to
them.
do this section fast. It's really just a matter of waiting for Rebecca, pretty much. If we were to have a sports fan outfit, it would be a little bit faster because Rebecca would be faster, but we'd be, like we said earlier, going out of her way for face mount, which doesn't make that much sense.
So you can see in the little window that she's like stopping every now and then. She's actually like scripted to stop and react to the looters in the room, even if they're not there, because you're meant to kind of run along with her, but obviously we don't do that. So she's like, oh my god, Frank, looters, and there's nobody there. But she's going to make her way through the rest of those zombies, and we're going to be pretty much good. So once she reaches this kind of corner, she's going to help us out, get us through the gate. We don't get to bike zip through any gates this time, I'm afraid. But you know, we get on through that. We get a cutscene with way too much sexual tension. And yeah, so we're going to jump over this little thing here. Rebecca's going to make her own way to the room that we need to thing, but we've got to grab this key over here. So we're going to do a bit of parkour, get over that. And,
seems like Rebecca was fine as well.
Yeah, Rebecca's cooperating. So Rebecca can stop and shoot zombies at pretty much any time, like Isabella.
Oh yeah.
She can also just get herself grabbed.
Yeah, there's been points where she literally shoots zombies for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. But she was actually pretty cooperative here. This is about as fast as she gets.
Yep.
We just gotta wait for her to get here. If I go too far down that corridor before she reaches me, she'll actually get a bit confused and then stay where she is.
Yep.
And then now she reaches that, we are good. Get out my
grabbing
way.
Another key here.
Yep. Lots and lots of keys. We are the key master.
Yep. Keys are only for the early game though. Like once we get to our Unison, there's not gonna be any more keys because we'll be, well, we pretty much will have all the money we need. I say pretty much because we won't, but the next money we'll be grabbing will just be on our way. So
yeah. Actually, that's the second to last key that we grab. Full stop.
Yep.
There's only one more that we need to get, and that'll be right before we actually head into the bank itself.
Yeah. Don't forget face paint.
You're right.
Yeah. Since it's a pretty new strat, it's like kind of easy to forget.
Actually, not used to going this way. Yeah.
Yeah. We were doing runs yesterday and races because we like to do races, right? Races are fun. But I actually mentioned the face paint route, like the new face paint route, and we actually tried it that way.
Yeah, we tested it right there and then and found out that like, this way is definitely slightly faster.
Yeah, we're actually still routing this category. This category is mostly just routed completely. There's still things that we found for sure.
Yeah. It's
We're also
it's always a work in progress.
yeah. Timeskip was routed like a while ago, I believe, but we're me and Hudson have been routing all bosses, which is a really fun category as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our baby at this point.
For sure. So yeah, that's that done. When we got to the security room where she found the tape, we found that it had been basically destroyed, so no evidence left behind of whatever happened here. So we were like, yeah, that is real sus. And then we get called back to the safe room because Sullivan, who's kind of like the I suppose the leader of the safe room itself, like the shelter, he's like the army reservist that's put in charge of it. He's threatening to kick out Stacy, who's the person that's been calling us about things, because she's the leader of this cure organization. So we're gonna come back and mull it all over, and Rebecca's also gonna show up during the cutscene and be like, "Yo, it's chill, calm down," and we're gonna all kind of agree to work out what the hell's going on here. So yeah, the mystery has started, and then there's like a bunch of waiting time, which is where our time skip first comes in. Shoots us from like basically like 9 a.m. in the morning all the way to 6:30 p.m. That evening, where we spot Brandon on the security cameras, who we saw earlier, the crazy cure guy, and we're gonna go and basically confront him and be like, "Yo, why did you make zombies happen, dude?"
Yep. I guess here, if you want to read something, we're pretty much just gonna be going to Uranus Zone. So.
Absolutely right. We have $50 from Grizz Bear. Their message says, take skateboard, skip mums, skip Philip, skip Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint and wait for all of this to go over estimate. Enjoy the weekend UKSG, and that $50 goes towards the Pajama Rama 100%. Hit the booby traps.
Thank you. Here pretty much we're gonna be going to Uranus Zone, but we're gonna make a quick stop.
Yeah, we got something in our way.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned it in the previous run, but the main protagonist of Dead Rising 2 was Chuck Green. And Chuck Green is actually present in this run as well.
Yeah, they decided to add him into Off the Record as an optional boss or psychopath, as they're called. He's there. We don't care. We're moving right on past him. We'll come back and deal with that man in a little bit.
Here, I can also let Hudson concentrate a little bit. We were talking about a specific trick. You can also, well, jump really high in this game, just like the bike stick, but we actually do that with a skateboard only. The way it's done is actually by jumping off a ledge. Like this. Perfectly done. Nice. First try. It's actually a pretty hard trick. It's called moon jumping. You can do that like really, really high as well.
Yeah.
To the point where you can get up the map pretty much everywhere.
You wouldn't believe the amount of times that I mess that up first go.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm very glad to get that first time in the run.
Yeah,
I wanted that key. Okay, that's the last key we get, and we need this shotgun.
Yeah, shotgun will be used for the next bot, which is gonna be Brendan. We actually deal with him like with a pretty interesting way. This way was found by Dices, which is another runner of this game.
Yeah, shout out to Dices.
Yeah, what we used to do is stand in the doorway and just kind of like go back and forth because Brendan will not be able to go out of the toilet, but he can actually just kind of like dodge his first attack, and then you'll just do the same attack over and over depending on how close you are to him. So that's pretty much the fight actually. Makes it so much easier and also way faster because you can just spam the shots.
Yeah, so usually we'd have to kind of, oh god, where are you going? Well, I hate you, Brandon.
Yeah, I guess you got a little bit too far away, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So we just gotta wait for him to pop out. We don't know which side he'll be. There he is. He's dead.
There it is. Nice. So here we're gonna be also after Brandon fight. We're gonna be going to the vaults where we'll be collecting about 600k, and also multiple other things like Zombrex and our certain weapon. We were talking about Chuck earlier. We're actually gonna be going back to him. Chuck is the only side boss we'll be killing. The reason why we kill Chuck is actually because it gives you a specific key for motorcycles. And as you can guess, well, vehicles are fast. So it's just a specific pattern of keys, a specific pattern of like, you know, going to all the lockers. As you can tell, a lot of money, some Zombrex, more Zombrex. And here we have the 6-shooter, which is probably the most OP weapon in this game.
100%.
Yeah, first, well, it has 60 ammo, and also it does metric ton of damage. You'll see with Chuck here.
It does a whole lot of damage, which is super duper useful for the kind of upcoming thing, the kind of
Yeah.
areas that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
It one-shots most humanoid enemies to the head, and any bosses. It does like pretty sizable damage that you'll see now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Also,
we got Chuck coming up, so this is going to be fun.
yeah, Chuck is probably the most RNG based fight. Sometimes it'll just be literally um, just wandering in Fortune Park for like ever. But sometimes he'll just get stuck as well.
No.
Yeah, seems like you want to, just screw around here. But sometimes he just gets stuck. Hopefully he gets stuck when he come back.
Yeah.
Um,
So the ideal
yeah.
thing that we want to do is shoot him just as he gets here. He'll skid and get kind of caught on this railing and ramp area.
It's pretty hard to like land consistently.
Yeah.
Also, as you can tell, he's not spamming six shooter. In this game, bosses have like kind of like iframes, which are invulnerability frames, which means if you were to spam the shots, most of the shots wouldn't actually do damage, which is why you have to wait. Luckily, he got stuck there. Kind of got
Okay, he
stuck,
decided
but
to
it's
cheat.
fine. Nice. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but he has like a doll on his back. The reason why Chuck became psycho in this game is actually because his daughter died.
Yeah.
The daughter is the one you give Zombrix to in the second game,
Yeah,
like
in
second vanilla game.
the RG
But
days,
sadly
yep.
she died, so I guess like Chuck kind of like became a psychopath.
Yeah, he went
But he's
crazy
still
as a result
thinking
of that.
still thinking that his doll is the actual daughter. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, with Chuck's death, we steal his motorcycle shed key, which we are going to be making use of multiple times throughout this run. Making him very useful as the only optional boss that we kill in pretty much any, standard any % Dead Rising category. Super useful. And then we're just going to be heading back to the safe room once more. We do quite a bit of this during this run. If I can open the damn door. And yeah, that was a pretty decent Chuck, I suppose. It could have been more perfect, but you see how he gets kind of stuck on the fence a lot. And yeah, pacing the shots just like Deep said. We got that whole bosses have what's called a revenge value, where once they take a certain amount of damage, they stop taking damage for a bit, and usually they can hit you with like a unblockable attack to give them kind of space to breathe. Chuck doesn't have one of those unblockable attacks, but he does still have the revenge value.
yep. So here we're gonna be heading to a pretty hard part actually. I don't know how Hudson wants to handle it, but pretty much what you would do here in the Dead Rising 2 normally is actually kind of like just try to get to TK, because like we came to realize after fighting Brandon, I believe, TK being the host of Terror's Reality, we didn't get to see it, but the knee dropping part was part of a show, right? It's called Terror's Reality. It's hosted by TK. TK being kind of like the baddie here. He'll pretty much like at the moment he's trying to like steal money off the mall pretty much everywhere. So now he's trying to leave by train in the underground area. But we're kind of like trying to make that not happen.
Yeah, we spot that out on the cameras, and we're gonna head over and see what's going on over there. So that's kind of on the far side of the city, over in the Palisades Mall, which we have been to once before, but there's actually a quicker way to get here normally. And we're gonna have a little interesting side encounter coming up, which we're gonna see for approximately 1 second. And then yeah, we're gonna head over to the underground to deal with getting to TK.
Yep. This part can be pretty hard. There will be multiple mercenaries, and mercenaries in this game do a lot of damage, which is kind of scary.
So as we head into
And-
the Yucatan, we have a little encounter over
Yeah.
here with,
True.
once it shows up, Snowflake, who's a tiger. And goodbye, Snowflake.
Sadly, we don't get to fight him, but it's actually one of the first bosses we fight in all the bosses.
Yeah. Snowflake
We
is
also
yeah.
go for it.
Snowflake is like the first mission that spawns in the game. It's unmarked.
Yeah.
So you only find out about her if you actually head to the area before she despawns. But yeah, it's a man and his tiger. You can actually tame the tiger, take it with you. It's pretty cool. We do that during all bosses and all survivors.
And we also do it in a really interesting way, don't we?
But in this, we just leave her behind. Unfortunately, no tiger today.
Yeah. We don't save anyone, sadly. I mean, in all bosses, at least, we're saving a tiger, right?
True.
So here, what you would be doing usually is just take photos, but you can actually just enter the cutscene trigger that's in front. You could just wait here, and at one point the cutscene will trigger, but you can kind of just walk in. So TK finds you, and then Frank jumps on the train, and then, well, he's trying to get to the front of the train where TK is.
There we go.
But yeah, sadly, TK kind of like detaches the train, so he kind of just leaves, and well, we can catch him.
Yeah, so you see, I kill the first two mercenaries. You can one-shot headshot them with the 6-shooter. Words are hard, guys. The last 4 we just completely skateboard past. There's like a cooldown on how often they can like stumble you off your skateboard. So once they shoot you once, you get on the skateboard, you just drive through them, and that cooldown should be done, or shouldn't be done before you reach the door, basically.
Yep.
So you can just pace past the rest of them.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but we also grabbed some Zombrex because, like we said, that Frank is infected, and we'll be grabbing a few Zombrex here and there.
Yeah. So
we'll
grabbed,
be using it.
Yeah, we grabbed 2 more Zombrex from the bank. We just used one right there, as it's now another 24 hours since our last one. Time flies, doesn't it? It feels like only 20 minutes or so, but it's been 24 hours. It's almost as if time is skipping. I'm hitting a lot of zombies.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well, I think, though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see
You
when
can
that
kind
board
of
starts
just-
flashing.
Right. You can just refresh it whenever,
Yeah.
just in case. But
So yeah, we're heading back for the start of case 4 now, which is probably the most painful part of Timeskip.
yeah, I personally, well, I mean, it's a pretty hard part. I play with this game with keyboard and mouse, so I have like a little bit of easier time with this. But if I were to play with controller, and even if I am playing with keyboard and mouse, it's definitely not easy. Especially in Timeskip, considering I believe at this point you have like 5 square of HP,
Yeah.
or 6, which isn't that much. Mercenaries will do a lot of damage. And there's multiple vaults. There isn't that much food.
I'm gonna pick up that. Okay, never mind.
There isn't that much food you can grab, but there is certain spots where we'll be stopping.
Yeah. So it's basically like a long section of us fighting a whole lot of mercenaries and trying not to die to them.
Yeah, the reason why we're fighting the mercenaries is actually because TK is trying to break into the vaults, and we want to avoid that. So.
Yeah.
Also, during the vaults, you'll see Hudson grabbing a few. They're not called suitcases, but what are they called?
Like cases of money, basically.
Cases of money. Okay.
Yeah.
After the vaults, we're pretty much gonna have enough money, which is gonna be about 1,050,000.
Indeed.
Yeah, we need that specific amount of money for certain things that we'll be using it for.
Yeah. So we're gonna grab like most of the rest of the money that we require for the run during this case. What am I on? 4 pips of HP. That should be fine. I hope it's fine. We'll find out. It's highly likely that I will die.
Scenario. Yeah,
I'm now on 3.
Though,
there's coffee creamer there.
This is like a pretty hard run not dying though. Like
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty unforgiving. But also compared to Dead Rising 1, this game has checkpoints.
Yeah, it's much more forgiving in that regard.
Oh yeah. If you were to enter a cutscene, area just like you did now, if he dies in the vault here, he'll just be spawning in the area you just entered. So not too bad.
Can you stop moving? Can you stop moving?
That's pretty unlucky actually.
So we're just not going to talk about my aim.
There it is, and then he destroyed the power drill, and as you can see, there is a case of money on the right. So we'll be grabbing that.
So this is like the money that they've stolen from the vault, and us taking issue to them stealing money, decide, no, we are going to steal the money. It's our money. What am I doing? Hello? Okay, my brain farted for a second there. I was thinking that I need heals, I don't.
There's gonna be 3 vaults in total, 1 for every casino. There's gonna be Americana, or Roll Flush. I mean, not Roll Flush. Slot Ranch Casino. Yep. I'm sorry, and Yucatan.
Yes.
Next up, we're gonna be going to Slot Ranch here. There will be some mercenaries along the way. They can be a little bit scary, but it should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing 3 times, but there's also another vault that's coming, but it will be kind of like a different one. Yeah.
But so we're headed over to the Slot Ranch Casino now for the second vault. I would say like each vault is like progressively harder than the last. There's like a few more mercenaries in this one. We actually have a conveniently timed level up for the last one. Or I've got it set up the way my save is, the amount of PP I have. So we should level up midway through the last bolt to give us a heal. But during this one, we are going to need to heal.
Yep.
Can you die? Oh my god. Okay, so we're running low on ammo, but happily I did keep the LMG on me from earlier,
Yeah,
so
that should be fine. Like we mentioned, well, aiming with the controller is pretty hard. Well, to me at least. So, they're considering there's a lot of mercenaries and they can move a lot at times, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So, that was a bit scary, 3 square HP, but we're fine.
Yeah, the biggest problem
Just run
comes
the
in
power.
when you get when you try and move through the zombies. You get grabbed by a zombie just as like you're getting shot. It can very
Oh, yeah,
quickly
okay.
drain your health because
Oh,
you
yeah,
kind of
for
lose
sure.
your invincibility frames that you would usually
For
have.
sure.
It's not fun.
Fortunately, though, there's just a whiskey there, which
Yep.
is
So we get
pretty
to
nice.
chug a whole handle of whiskey and move on.
Yep.
And I need to drop this LMG because
So we're gonna be...
yeah.
Go for
So
it.
LMGs have certain weapons in this game basically have like special rules on their spawning. So the LMG is one of them, and there can only be one kind of in the world at the time basically, or in your inventory. So say if I had that one still in my inventory, when we move into this next area where I want to grab a new one, it won't be there.
Yeah, that works for even like there are multiple LMG spawns throughout the map, but if you were to grab the one in Atlantica, which is what we did, well, it won't be in Yucatan anymore. So yeah, so here it's pretty much the hardest vault, I want to say. It's a pretty hard one, but fortunately there is a LMG for some reason right here on the grass. So
Just hidden
Nice.
up here, and like I
Yeah.
said, dropped our old one so that we could make sure that one was there.
yep.
And you'll see that our
And-
PP bar right at the top left, that's pretty close to completion. So it should be, I think,
Yep.
1 or 2 of these kills right here should unlock level 5 for us. There we go. So
There
that's
it
a
is.
full heal.
Yep.
I've just got to stop missing my shots.
You also got health increase, which is pretty good timing. But
Yeah.
yeah, level ups pretty much refresh your health no matter what. As you can tell, there's way more mercenaries.
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna be grabbing another case of money, which gives you, I believe, like 185k, which is kind of
Yeah, this one is 185k, so it's like
Yeah.
pretty much all that we need left to get
yeah.
to. It's not quite enough. We do get a little bit more right near the end, but yeah, with that we're gonna have pretty much all the money we need.
Yeah, we're still gonna be missing some money, but we're gonna be grabbing that in
Yeah.
the next part here.
Cool.
We did mention that there was gonna be a Ford vault, which is what Hudson will be going at for right now. We did also mention that Chuck is skilled for a specific reason. We'll get to use motorcycles, and well, as we can also do combo weapons in this game, we'll also be doing a combo weapon later. We can also combo weapons with the motorcycle, so that's what we're gonna do right now.
Indeed. So yeah, we don't get to see combo weapons too much in Thing, but it is one of the defining characteristics of Dead Rising 2 over Dead Rising
yeah.
1.
We get to see it a lot in all bosses, though.
Yeah. So we make we combine an LMG with a bike, and we make an bike with 2 LMGs.
Yep. And here comes the fourth vault, where there's just a van trying to break in.
Yeah, it's an armored
I
van.
believe.
This is a pain to kill usually. It's
yeah.
quite tanky. These guys are annoying, but we can't actually be knocked off the bike, much like with Isabella in the previous thing. We can't be knocked off of it or anything, so that's nice. We're just gonna use that to DPS down the van, and that's case 4 done. Kind of the hardest bit, in my opinion, over with.
Oh yeah. We're gonna be going back here in a bit. Well, since it's a vault, that means there is money in it, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be going back.
There is a money case to
I'm-
grab, but there's a van in the way currently, so we need that to despawn.
Yeah. We're just gonna be talking to a Mo's Imagination guy, Reynold. That will open every single shop in the game. This is pretty much like a black market, where you can just buy combo weapons, certain vehicles, and zombies as well. As you can tell, also easy animation cancel.
Yeah. So usually crashing there would knock us flying off the bike, but we go into the camera just as it happened, and there's no full animation, and we just move normally.
Yep.
I went
I
slightly the wrong
guess Nico can read if he has something to
way,
read.
but yeah. If there's anything that can be read out or said.
Absolutely, would love to. Right, we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting crisis and 10% will go towards helping UKSG support future events. And more things that they do, they help with homeless people find and keep a rented home. They do this by working with landlords to ensure and supply a place to live and giving homeless people the tools and knowledge they need to rent successfully. Their housing resource center provides information and training for housing professionals. They help to rent database lists, private sector renting schemes all across the UK.
Thank you.
All right.
So we found out that Rebecca, who was going to introduce us to her source, has been kidnapped, and they want $1 million to give her back. And we also saw a little clown car there. There's actually a boss fight that triggers if you go near it, called Evan, who's like a clown on stilts. You saw me kind of like edge towards the very left of where the bike was there to get out of the thing. If you don't do that, it will trigger him, and then we have to kind of run back to our bike with Evan in the way, trying to shoot us with his little snowball cannon. It's not fun, trust me. So we want to avoid that where possible, and I managed to get it there.
Yep.
So, and we got the last of our money, so we now have $1,060,000, which is just what we need.
There we go. Yep. So that's perfect, actually. Here we're gonna be going for the source. You wouldn't actually be able to enter the door if you didn't have the money, so you absolutely need the $1 million. We're also gonna be grabbing a certain weapon along the way. I believe. What do you believe we're grabbing, Hudson?
So
There are
here we're
multiple
actually
things
heading
you can
back
grab.
to Yucatan, and we're just gonna grab ourselves the LMG again.
Sounds good. So yeah, there's multiple weapons you can grab. There's also shotguns if you want, but I believe LMG is probably the one to get.
Yeah. But yeah, we're heading over to Deebs' favorite fight now.
Oh, it's a pain. Like even in all bosses, certain bosses are pretty hard. I think Hudson thinks other bosses, like side bosses, hard, but I personally think that twins are, yeah, something else.
Yeah. So we're gonna
twins
be
are
going.
hard.
Yeah, we're gonna be going up against two twin ladies here. They're kind of like TK's side pieces, I guess, or something. And they're gonna basically attack us for interfering with whatever the hell TK is up to. There are two of them. We're gonna basically be focusing on one. We got Amber here. There's also Crystal.
Fortunately, I only have to kill one during the
yeah.
fight.
So we're just
there's
gonna be
also
wailing on one of them for that reason.
Yeah. There's a specific pattern you can take, but the problem is
Come back, Amber.
you can. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty unlucky.
I'm getting bodied.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a specific pattern you can take if there was one of them, but the problem is the other boss, we're trying to fight Ember here, so Crystal will sometimes just come in and kind of just ruin it.
Yeah. So usually you can kite them out and
yeah.
it's fine, although she's
Yeah,
being
but-
very uncooperative today.
Yeah. She's really not being nice, but just trying to avoid the swings, because as you can tell, it's a lot of damage, and we also don't have that much HP. And Crystal is not letting you
Really
go.
not cooperating, yeah.
Sometimes Crystal will actually not hit you a single time, but here she's kind of being mean, isn't she?
I'm gonna need to drink again.
That's fair.
Yeah, this
Like,
is...
luckily, we can drink as much alcohol as we want because we have the sports on outfit. So, otherwise, I think he drank like 3 drinks of alcohol.
Can
so we
Crystal
do
go
about
away?
it.
Oh my
She
god!
doesn't stop.
Oh my god! She's driving me up the wall.
This is the reason why I don't like this fight, by the way. I mean, I like it, but it's hard. I feel like
I've
it's really
never
hard.
ever had a worse like twins fight than that, like without dying.
I mean, you didn't die, so that's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Um,
once one of the twins are dead, the other one, overcome with grief, kills herself.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about that happily, and then we head out. We just leave.
Yep.
$1 million down.
And yeah, exactly. As you noticed, $1 million down. They kind of just took it. I believe the reason why they took it is because there was like another mercenary or like TK's right man or something like that.
Yeah.
He grabbed the money and left, and then the twins were there to fight you.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
So we
here
get
we're
the
gonna
money
be
to-
grabbing
yeah.
the most OP weapon in the game.
Yeah.
I can let Hudson explain it because it's a pretty interesting strat.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Frank, he's been through a lot, and after going through the second zombie outbreak, he's feeling a bit sentimental, and he's remembering his little nephew at home. So he's gonna grab a little toy for his nephew, take it back when he makes it out, and say like, hey, look, you like space, right? You like aliens? How about a little toy ray gun?
And it's
You know.
pretty powerful.
But yeah, no. With that done, yeah. So TK and his goons have kind of run off with our money and are trying to escape the city. We know where they're headed. They're trying to leave from the roof of the Fortune City Hotel in a helicopter. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to chase him down.
Yep. So earlier we did mention that throwable weapons do more damage with the sports fan outfit, so this might come in handy here.
Yeah. But we got some goons to go through first. I don't have much LMG ammo, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Should be alright. I mean,
Ideally-
worst case scenario, they have the weapons themselves, so you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
just kind of take
Like ideally, we end up with enough ammo after the twins that we can just kind of
Yeah.
kill these guys and have a little bit left over because we need to keep this LMG. I might have to like kill one, grab a weapon, and take a little bit extra time, but alas, this is the cards that we have been dealt. Happily, these guys are a little less tanky than the other mercenaries.
Yellow
They don't
mercenaries,
have
yeah.
helmets, so they get kind of bodied by headshots. That's them dead.
Yep. So here, we're actually fighting TK, which is a pretty hard boss fight, actually.
Yeah, this
But-
is one of the toughest fights in the game. This you
Yeah.
need a helicopter. It can be really a struggle. You know,
And
he's
then
dead.
it's over. Yeah, the reason why this works is actually this fight. What you're supposed to do is grab, like, as you can tell, as you've been able to tell, there were many items on the ground. You were supposed to grab that item or any of those items and throw it on the helicopter, and that does quite a bit of damage. But for some reason, the toy gun ammo acts as if it was throwable weapons. You can kind of just spam it and deal with the helicopter really easily.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, all the toys in this game, regardless of how they actually work, they count as throwable weapons, including ones that you actually shoot, like the toy spitball gun and the ray gun, which has a pretty high rate of fire for a toy gun. So for whatever reason, that plus the thrown weapon damage boost from our outfit means that we can actually just kill the helicopter in one single cycle.
Yep. And also, as you've been able to tell, since we dealt with the helicopter, that means we also got back our money.
Yep.
We wouldn't be buying what we're gonna buy if we didn't have that much money. But fortunately, we will get to buy a certain vehicle. Most areas in this game have vehicles that you can actually buy in the most imagination shops that we're gonna be going in right now.
Yeah, this is one of the ones
This
that we
card is like
unlocked
the
earlier.
sports car. It actually cost $1 million, so
Yep,
comes
it's
in handy.
pretty perfect.
Yeah. Also gonna be
And-
grabbing his Zombrix that
Yep.
we'll be using right now.
The last Zombrix that we need for the run. We've
Yep.
got the kind of military coming in now to clean up
Coffee
and
creamer.
get us out of
Coffee
here.
creamer.
You're right. Is there one here? No.
I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be needing coffee creamer for a specific use later. If you were there earlier, we used it for quick step, so you might be able to guess what we're gonna be using it for.
But yeah, no. So yeah, the military are going to be showing up now and kind of getting us out here. So we're basically almost done with the run, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's still a few things to do, but
Just a few. Yeah.
yeah, like going on the roof.
Yeah.
To take photos of the like military arriving.
Indeed. That's what we need the coffee creamer for, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you might be able to tell by our incredibly sarcastic tone, the game does not end here when the military arrive this time. No.
It actually becomes way worse.
It becomes way worse. So once the military show up, we see kind of some gas start coming up from the vents and turn some of our zombies into mutated super gas zombies and kill all of the military except this one dude Boykin, who we watched basically drive away. And Rebecca chases for whatever reason. So we're going to go and collect Rebecca because reasons. But yeah, we have now gas zombies to deal with. And you'll kind of spot them as they come. They're either like kind of the butch zombies that are like chasing all the way like towards us at high speed. They are awful. They are faster. They are stronger. They have less escapable grabs. You have to do like more inputs to escape one of their grabs. I shouldn't be doing this. They can kind of projectile vomit on you and cause you to kind of like cough and throw up, stunning you in place for a time so that they can then grab you. They are less knockdownable by most things, so they're much harder to like push your way through compared to like the other zombies that are really not that much of a threat.
Yeah. So we're sadly, we didn't mention that we had 2 books, but sadly at this point, the run kind of becomes a little bit scarier. To the point where Hudson will have to manage his board really well because he actually dropped one of the book to actually well, grab the shotgun and the quick step. It's actually really useful. You need the shotgun for the next boss, and you need the quick step for after the boss. Well, we'll be escorting someone.
Indeed.
Yeah, we would have been able to see it, but Rebecca, which is a journalist, actually got captured by Boykin because she got too close to it. She got too close to them, and Boykin kind of like turned crazy, I guess, because he saw all his partners die, like his comrades. So now he's just capturing Rebecca, and he also thinks we're a zombie, so he's just pretty much trying to kill everyone here. This is a pretty hard boss fight, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
But you can kind of like make him roll a lot. So yeah, he seems to be trying to do like if it was a Souls-like where he's just rolling around everywhere, but it's not really working out for him.
Yeah, so Boykin has like two kind of, I guess, modes. He has like melee mode where he'll like try and chase you down and then knock you down. When he does, he has like a combo attack that he'll do. And then he has that range mode, which involves him actually shooting his gun at you, which is definitely not the one that we want to be running into. I can't find an assault rifle.
There's one.
Oh, he's like right on top of it. Okay. No.
That should be fine. Yeah, he can also do that.
Yeah, so once
But
he
it should
hits
be
you with a melee attack, he'll do this combo attack where he shoots you and then throws you away. It's not fun. Then he usually runs away. Yeah. So yeah, he just switches from like back and forth. If you just walk close to him, walk back, walk close to him, walk back. Yeah, so the idea is to try and keep him into melee form as much as possible. If you shoot him too much while he's charging you, he'll actually roll away. So just as he kind of gets close, we want that to happen, and it works. The problem is I just kind of ran out of ammo there, and it wasn't exactly ideal.
Yeah, so it worked out.
Yeah. Oh,
So here, the reason for quick step, yeah, he's gonna be grabbing another weapon that he's gonna do for later. But the reason why we need a quick step is actually because we need to escort Rebecca because she's hurt.
Yeah. So we need to carry her back.
Yeah, Frank is a fast boy now. Really
Indeed.
fast boy.
So yeah, once again, making use of that bonus speed from the quick step. We are going to be just kind of running back to the safe room with Rebecca in hand.
Yeah.
And you'll also notice as we kind of get back to the Royal Flush Plaza, that sports car that we bought is going to come in handy. Because just as our quick step runs out, we're going to make it there and be able to use that to kind of get back even quicker. So that $1 million that we spent time collecting earlier, it came in useful after all, you know? We didn't just get it just to pay off somebody and then get the money back.
Yep.
Super
But this is kind of like a normal escort, so I guess if you have anything to say, Nico?
Absolutely. We just had a donation come in. A $10 anonymous donation that reads, "The True Marathon. Let's go, baby." Thank you so much, Anonymous.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, we get to drive the sports car, or we're actually going to be using twice. But as you can tell, with the amount of keys we grabbed earlier, it doesn't seem that worth to just, you know, grab all the keys for that car, right? But fortunately, well, we need the money anyway, so might as well buy the car while we're buying a sunrise. This is way faster as well. Mostly just because you wouldn't have quick step by this point, you'd just be walking back home.
And also, apparently, the floor of the Royal Flush Plaza is made of like ice or something, because that car handles absolutely awfully when you're driving through it. It's really hard to like take those corners, so it takes a while to get used to.
For sure.
And Deebs is adamant that you can drive through this corridor too. I don't think it's worth it for the amount of precision you require.
Not worth it, but I personally think it looks really good. So.
Yeah.
Okay, sadly here we're gonna get a new case where it seems like there is kind of like a traitor in the safe room. We don't know who it is specifically yet, but it seems like there is. So someone opened the door, like the main door of the safe room, and so, well, zombies kind of like busted in.
Yeah, completely unnoticed, by the way. Like, nobody saw this person opening the door.
Yeah.
But now they're zombies.
Yeah, so now pretty much what we're trying to do is gather some materials like a gas barrel, wires, and what is it?
It's a spool of wire, a generator, and a gas barrel.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna be grabbing those 3 items, and then we'll be trying to close the door by
magic.
I would say, yeah. I mean, hacking actually, right?
yeah, hacking. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see later. You don't get to see it that much, but once you place all the 3 items, it's not a matter of like repairing or closing the door or anything. The prompt is called hacking, so I guess you kind of just hack the door with a generator, a barrel, and wires.
Yeah.
which is interesting. Also, survivors are kind of meant to die here, sadly. So at certain points there will be some certain survivors that literally just die instantly, but it seems like they're all well for now.
Yeah, it's very possible for survivors to die here. You can see Kirby's not
Oh, yeah.
having a good time there.
Yep. So this is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's just grabbing some stuff. And yeah, I mean, yeah, this section is pretty interesting for that. Like, if you have any other optional survivors that you saved, they'll also kind of, some of them will appear in this area and fight off the zombies. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I guess this bit is probably one of the most interesting broken parts of the game.
Yeah.
I guess Deeves want to run through that while I spam the A button.
Okay. We do have a fix for issue. Happily, Hudson doesn't get the issue anymore, but it's always scary because I got it back like this week for some reason. When you were to interact with the terminal and kind of finish hacking it, as you can tell, Frank was able to move after, and then he has to interact with the terminal again. But before, like actually after repairing it, the camera will sometimes get stuck, and if the camera gets stuck, the next loading will be infinite.
Yeah.
We can actually fix it, so we do have a way to fix it, and we also have like certain rules that we applied for the runs, like in the leaderboards. So if you were to get it, there's a way to fix it. So it's not that bad. We just don't have like a fix for everyone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like our fix is not permanent, right?
Yeah,
It will be a fix that you'll do during your run.
Yeah, the fix is goofy. It requires you literally like tabbing out of the game, opening your task manager, and making Dead Rising run on a single CPU core for like the duration of that section.
Yeah.
It makes the game run like hell, but it's literally the only way to fix it, and we don't know why that works, but it do.
Yeah. And like the fact that we set up some certain rules, it's like, you know, it's all good. It only takes like
We allow
13
like
seconds to do.
pausing of the timer during that. If
Yeah.
people have to do it, you know, it's only fair to even that out.
For sure.
And yeah, I used to have it a lot. I had it when I first started running the game. I kind of found the fix to actually get past it, because other runners that had previously run the game didn't have the issue. And then I think I'm like one of the only active runners now that doesn't have the problem.
Yeah, since you changed your PC.
Yeah. So that's why we think it's like related to certain CPUs or whatever, but
Yeah.
there's no pattern to when it does
Yeah.
and doesn't happen.
Yep. Here, pretty much what we're gonna be doing is, well, we're kind of just trying to like investigate what is going on in the underground, because all the gas is coming from the underground, like in the sewers, right? So we're like, yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So we'll come to notice that there is mercenaries, for some reason here, and all the zombies are attracted by it. So we're kind of just trying to investigate, and we'll be just entering the place we don't know of, because Frank West is Chad and he's not scared.
No, don't hit me. Okay.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, we just
yeah,
ignore the
so-
mercenaries. Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, during those cutscenes, we actually came to realize that this is actually a lab where they are making Zombrex. So we're kind of like coming to realize that the outbreak was made on purpose by a pharma corp, which is called Phenotrans. They are kind of like the meanies here. They employed TK in order for TK to give the explosive to Brandon that Brandon used to blow up the gate and cause the outbreak. Also, this is a really hard boss fight, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are considered bosses by the game's code. We don't know why.
Yep. Well, that was weird.
I've closed the fucking door on myself again.
All right.
But yeah, so yeah, like the gist of that, the whole thing, Phenotrans makes the Zombrex drug. You probably heard us mention it slightly, but the wasps that started the infection, they're called queens. They kind of are like, you know, they're only caused by the zombies themselves or whatever. So we need the queens to make Zombrex, but we need zombies to make queens. So every now and then, apparently, they start a new outbreak to get more queens, basically, and that's the idea. That's like their justification for it. Frank and the others see it differently. They see it as a way to create more customers of Zombrex and try and drive up stock prices because more people need it. So that kind of leads to like, most of the confrontation between the two in the game. It's not really kind of like the game doesn't really offer much commentary on who's right or wrong in that situation beyond, hey look, Hero Frank. But you know, That's the gist of that. Big Pharma calls the zombie outbreak, so
Yeah.
make of that which you will. And then apparently TK went rogue and just tried to loot the city to make more money for himself, and that's why he did what he did.
Exactly.
Do you
Yeah,
guys mind if we have time for a few donations?
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
we're just running back here.
Lovely. Right, we've got $10 from Cam with no comment, but their bid goes towards the next run, which is the Metal Gear Solid Original versus Remake race with the ending choice of Meryl. So make sure you guys get your donations in so that you can choose the outcome of the race. We've also got a $10 donation from Kim Traverted. I asked in a chat if somebody could give me a zombie joke. Kim goes, I'd give Nico my joke, my zombie joke, to read out, but it's a bit of a groaner. Good luck, runners. And that also goes towards the Metal Gear Solid Original versus Remake race. But now it's for Otacon, so it's tied. Who's going to take the lead next?
Oh wow, I accidentally tried to save the game.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, so during that we come back, we we're like, yo, Phenotrans are bad, and then the traitor reveals himself. So it's in this game it's Stacy, the one that has been calling us the whole time. She's actually a Phenotrans agent. She shoots Rebecca as she tries to call for help. Then she shoots and kills Sullivan. We think that both of them are dead. It turns out Rebecca's actually alive for the purposes of overtime, but for now we don't know. And then we're going to chase down Stacy, which is slightly different to Dead Rising 2 Base, where they change it up from in Off the Record. So in Dead Rising 2 Base, Sullivan is the Phenotrans agent, kills Rebecca instantly and injures Stacy. But then we kind of gets to leave.
Yep. Also, this part is kind of scary, like just what happened there. The mercenary, I mean the Phenotran mercenaries is what I should call them. They have two weapons, assault rifles, and they also have what is it called again? A blaster
BFG.
gun. BFG. Okay.
Stands for blast frequency gun, but it's the little
Blast
electro wave gun that they're shooting that you'll see.
Yeah. It makes Frank vomit, and vomiting while zombies are around you, and also while assault rifles are shooting you is, as you can guess, not good. So ideally, we don't get a shot by that BFG. It seems like Hudson was pretty lucky, actually. So
I thought that one was gonna hit me. I can't lie, but we got lucky.
You're fine.
But yeah, that can be like a very late game run killer. If you get hit by that BFG, it's like, especially on this health that I'm on right now, it's basically a death sentence.
Oh yeah.
But so what's happening now is there is these things called harvesters all over the thing. They're trying to take as many queens and get out of the city as possible.
No.
For whatever reason. Oh, we got a level up there. That was like perfect.
Oh, that's interesting. That's nice.
Doesn't usually happen. Usually we have to talk to those guys right there to get some extra
exactly.
XP to level up with.
That was perfect, actually. Alright, so there's just multiple harvesters in the Fortune Park, so we're just gonna be pretty much destroying all of them.
Yeah, there's 8 of them in total. There's 2 up here in the Silver Strip area. There's 4 in the park that we're going to deal with. And then there's 2 kind of down in the Platinum Strip area down the bottom of the outside region. And we're just going to abuse this bike to do it for the same reason earlier. It's the quickest way to kill them by far. Avoids all the knockdown.
I can't even imagine how hard it would be if you didn't have that bike. Considering how many people are shooting you, considering you can also vomit, the fact that you cannot get off the bike, even if you get shot at, it's so good.
So good.
Yeah, this is why we killed Chalk. It lasted for 30 seconds, like the Chalk's fight, and it's definitely worth.
That's also why we had to keep that LMG from earlier. So the ammo in the LMG resets once we put it in the thing. So as long as we have 1 bullet left, we can make a fully charged up LMG bike for this.
Yep. So this is the last harvester, and then we'll get a cutscene where I believe Stacy is like escaping to where in the zone or something like that.
Yeah.
And we'll also be resetting the checkpoint. I don't know if you were about to tell, but there are multiple soldiers in front, and resetting the checkpoint here actually removes all of them.
Yeah. So yeah, like in that situation, I suppose, like those soldiers have the BFG guns. They'll probably make you vomit. It's a whole waste of time. So we just load the checkpoint to despawn them. They're gone. So we're actually going to be heading into the final boss fight of the game. And this game, the game's been pretty zombified or whatever. We've had like, some people and stuff like that. So, this boss fight is obviously going to keep with those themes and be completely normal and, horror-esque, right?
For sure.
So yeah, here is the final boss of the main game of Dead Rising 2 Off the Record. It's a giant robot.
Stacy's on her, and yeah, pretty much just fighting a robot. We have specific patterns to actually kill it. First, we'll use Sledgehammer to break the first sequence of this boss. And then, as we talked about earlier, we'll be making a certain combo weapon that is in the maintenance room, just behind the container behind us. Yeah, also this fight has quite a bit of RNG. The reason why it has RNG is actually because our patterns are different every single time. Like, her attacks are never the same. So that's a good attack, that's what you want.
Yeah, she has a bunch of attacks that she can choose from, and only some of them actually enable us to kind of counter-attack afterwards. So we want ones where she leaves her fist down. And there's 3 phases to this boss fight as well, as you can see signified by the stars. So there's this phase where she kind of slams with, like, you know, more like fist attacks. The second phase where she kind of turns into more like stabby attacks with the claws of the hands. And then the third phase where the arms break, and that's kind of the hardest. Not the hardest, it's probably the easiest part of it, but it's also where things can go wrong.
Yeah, it's like a 2011 game, right? A 2011 game wouldn't be good if it didn't have QTEs. So third phase is, well, you guessed it, QTEs.
Yes.
So that's why it's pretty easy.
This is quite possibly one of the slowest first phase Stacy's I've ever had.
It wasn't that bad,
but it's done now.
Yeah. So here we're gonna be making the combo weapon. It's pretty specific. I don't know if it was intended this way, but this combo weapon, like, we've tried a lot of things. This combo weapon makes the boss fight so much faster. You'll see how much damage it makes. You can actually like two
cycle
get it into 2 cycle it, right? Or 3 cycle, which is pretty good. If you were to use like Sledgehammer, it would take you like roughly six cycles. So
indeed.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a vacuum with a saw blade.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
This is not like a crazy combo weapon, but for this boss, it is pretty good. Also, this is the attack you need, by the way. That's good. As you can tell, the damage is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so it kind of hits like multiple times through the hitbox rather than just like a single hit, which means that we can do a lot of damage really quickly.
Also, it seems like he's getting good attacks, so that's pretty nice.
I'm gonna do 3 cycle. Yeah.
So good.
It's a little bit RNG how much damage you do. It's like a bit of RNG, a bit of positioning. I guess I wasn't in the perfect place there. And now we're gonna get the attacks that we don't want. This is not what we want to see. We don't want her throwing boxes. We don't want her doing those slashing attacks. We want these.
Yeah, but in the boxes, actually, this is giving you orange juice, so I mean...
I actually didn't know that.
Right? yeah.
Alright, so we've got this third phase here. So we have like these kind of missile batteries that are being opened up here. We're going to use those to kind of like fire missiles at the robot itself, and then we're going to kind of engage her in a close range QTE fight. We do this 3 times. On the third one, once I push the 4th button, that will be time, but I will call it out. Don't ask why I paused.
So yeah, pretty much you get a sequence of QTEs and also loud noises. Really loud noises.
Yeah.
This is like one of the only sounds in game that doesn't get reduced by lowering the volume. So
yeah, that like choir-like sound or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not cooperative.
Should probably eat, no?
I'll do it in a moment.
Maybe. I'm just being.
I got this.
You got this. All right. There's also one move that she'll do. As you can tell, like the yellow boxes ish, well, the gray boxes have yellow lights right now, so that means you cannot use it, right? You can only use it once, and then you have to wait a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll just do an attack while she tries to slap Frank like that.
I hate you.
No, she didn't do it.
That's the worst attack.
I thought it was. Yeah. This is like not an attack. She's just like retracting herself. You can't do anything. But sometimes she'll be like kind of just slapping Frank. And if you dodge it properly, you can actually get on top of her head and get the QTE again, without like waiting for the other boxes. So, yeah. So now we're just like waiting for the
There we go.
green box over here, and there it is. See, as Hudson mentioned, fourth input of the QTE this time will be the end of
Yeah, we're coming up on time. I will call it out when we hit it. So there's 1, 2, 3, and that's time.
Yeah, GG's.
There we go. So that's Dead Rising 2 off the record, up to ending B. And this is the wonderful final cutscene you get, which has 2 of the worst jokes that the Dead Rising franchise has to offer. So I will let you enjoy that. But while we get to it, thank you for having me, everybody. I've been Hudson, by the way. You've been listening to Deebs and his wonderful commentary over the top of this. We run both Dead Rising games, or I suppose I only kind of focus on this game. Deebs is way better than I am. Check us
You're
out.
good.
Shout out to all the Dead Rising community. Love you all. And
Yeah,
thanks
like
to everybody
Street,
for
Sweet,
having a watch.
Everyone. Yeah.
Big up.
Yeah.
Enjoy the terrible jokes.
Great runs, both of you, Hudson and Deebs. Thank you so much for the Dead Rising block. Great run, Hudson, as well. It was fantastic. This is actually going to be my last hosting shift for this marathon. Up next, you've got Nordic Soy taking over the realms of the MC microphone. But coming up next, we have Nick RP Green and House Test with the Metal Gear Solid Race. Original versus remake race is going to be an hour and 5 minutes. But before we get to the race, we'll be going to a short intermission and we'll be back after these messages. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay awesome and enjoy the rest of UKSG Winter 2022.